Hi, I'm Anna. I'm turning 18 next week. I know that when I'm 18, I may be able to start to claim some benefits myself, but I worry about having my own money and I don't know how to get help with it. I have a learning disability and it makes it a lot harder for me to do some day-to-day tasks, and I'm worried that I will have the same problems with managing my money. I really want to take the next step, have my own money and be independent, but I'm scared in case it all goes wrong.
Hi Anna, my name's Bella. I know that turning 18 and suddenly having all this responsibility can be scary, especially if you do find things harder than other people. It can seem like a huge task, but I believe in you, and I'm here to help you on your journey to financial independence.
That sounds great, but what is financial independence?
Financial independence is the right to have and control your own money. Everyone's journey to financial independence is different depending on their circumstances. Depending on your circumstances, you may need to talk to your parents or carers about financial independence and what this will look like for you. This video will discuss some of the things you may want to ask them about and the ways they can support you on your journey to financial independence.
So, does having independence mean I can't have help?
Not at all. Your parents or carers can still help you. We'll discuss some of the ways that they can support you in this video. We will also give you the names of some organizations that can provide professional help and advice for you.
Okay, great. How do I become financially independent?
Well, we can think of it like a journey, with financial independence as the end goal. We just need to work out how to get there. Every journey might not be exactly the same, and you will learn lots of things along the way. But I can show you some of the main things you need to know. 1. Decision making. In this part, we'll be talking about decisions, about your money and the kinds of help you can get to support you with these decisions. 2. Benefits. We will be looking at what benefits are, how you can get them, and the sorts of things you can use them for.
Wow, that sounds like a lot.
It's a lot to take in, but don't worry, we're going to break it down and I will be with you every step of the way. The first part of financial independence and having your own money is making decisions about what to do with it, like how you want to spend it and what you want to spend it on.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I get to choose what I spend my money on.
Exactly. With financial independence, it's up to you.
Great. But what if I'm worried about making decisions about money? Can I ask for help?
That's okay. Decisions about money can be stressful for everyone, and it's okay if you need help to make decisions about money.
So, can I ask my mum to help me?
Yes, of course. The question to ask yourself is how much help and what kind of help you might need.
Okay. How can I do that?
Well, the first thing to say is that everyone is presumed to be able to make their own choices about what they want to buy. That's the starting place. This is true even if you need help sometimes, or if you need assistance to understand information. For example, if you need an easy read format or someone like a parent or carer to help explain the information to you. If you can, 1. Understand the information about the decision. 2. Remember that information, even if only for a short period of time. 3. Use the information to make a decision. And 4. Communicate your decision, which could be through talking or using sign language. Then you have what is called mental capacity, and you can make your own decision. You should be supported to make your own decisions about money as much as possible, and anyone helping you should be trying to enable you to make your own decisions.
I see. So, mental capacity is about being able to understand and remember information and then use it to make my decisions and communicate this to other people.
Perfect.
What would happen if I made a bad choice or get something wrong? Would that mean I can't be in charge of my own money anymore?
We all make bad decisions sometimes, but that doesn't mean you don't have capacity or can't be independent. Making mistakes and learning from them is an important part of life.
That's helpful to know. What if I need more help with my money?
A good place to start is by talking to people you trust. Sometimes talking through choices or difficult decisions is really useful. It can make things clearer for you, or someone might be able to offer a different opinion that helps you think differently.
I thought that having independence meant I had to make all my choices on my own. I'm really happy to know I can speak to people. My mum helps me with a lot of things, so I'd like to be able to have her help with my money too.
That's great, Anna. You can ask anyone you trust, like a friend, parent, or carer. There are also organisations that provide information and advice, like the Money Advice Service, that you could look at together. Just make sure that the people you choose to talk to are definitely people you can trust. Money is a very personal and private issue, and sharing information with the wrong people can be risky.
Yes, I will only talk to my mum and granddad. Maybe my best friend Lily too.
They sound like good choices to me. Just one more thing. If someone that you talk to manages their money differently, that doesn't mean it's wrong. Everyone does things in a way that suits them. You'll find out what works for you.
Okay, great. What if I need more help than just talking to people? I'm usually able to understand and communicate information, though I have really bad days sometimes when I struggle to understand things. What happens then?
Yes, there are lots of different options if you need more help, or if more help would make you feel more confident. Let me tell you about a couple of them.
Great.
Let's start with a joint bank account. This is a bank account that you and another person share. You can both use the account and the money in it. This can be a good way of getting help because you still have the independence of having a bank account and access to your money, but someone else can also be on hand if needed.
So, a joint account is somewhere I can keep my money, but it is an account that I share with someone else, like my mum.
Yes, that's right. However, if you have a joint bank account, it's important to share with someone you know and trust because they will have access to all your money in that account the same way you do. You would both own the money.
Okay, that's good to know. How can I get a joint account?
You can go into your bank and talk to them about opening an account. They will have all the information you need. Normally, to get started, they need to see photo ID, proof of address for both of you, so make sure to take that with you when you go. If you don't want a joint bank account, there is another way your parents, carers, or trusted person can help you with your money. This is by setting up something called a third-party mandate on your own bank account. This is where the bank account remains in your own name, so it isn't shared like with a joint account, but someone else can help you do your everyday banking, like taking cash from the bank or getting statements for you.
That sounds like it would be good for the days when I find it harder to leave the house. My mum could go to the bank for me on those days if I had one of those.
Exactly. It can be really useful. A third-party mandate is normally only short-term though, so if you think you would need help all of the time or for long periods, then this may not be for you.
Is there a way that I can get more help with making decisions and managing my money?
Yes. One option to be able to get a bit more help is to give someone power of attorney, or LPA. This is a legal term for someone who has the power to make decisions on your behalf. This could be a lawyer, but it could also be someone else you trust, like a parent or family member. There are two types of lasting power of attorney, one for finance and property and one for health and welfare. A property and financial LPA can be all the time or just at certain times when you can't make decisions for yourself. If this sounds like it could be right for you, it would be a good idea to get some advice about the different options.
So, someone with power of attorney has a bit more control than just being able to help me with my bank account when needed?
Yes, that's right. They can do a lot more for you, but because they can make decisions for you, you should think carefully about whether this is right for you before doing it.
Okay, got it.
And finally, we have an appointee. This is someone who receives your benefits on your behalf and then can make decisions about your benefit money for you. It can be a person you know and trust, or it could be a company or organisation that provides this service. However, you can only have an appointee if it is decided that you do not have mental capacity. An appointee is only for help with your benefits. It doesn't mean that person can automatically do your banking for you. It is something you need to think about carefully before you agree to it, because it can be difficult to remove an appointee when you have one.
Wow, that's a lot of information. But I think I get it. So an appointee gets the money and can spend it instead of me?
Yes, that's right. They still need to spend it in your best interest, but you won't have the responsibility of looking after the money.
It sounds like there is a lot of help out there, and there's a way that everyone can get some help too.
Yes, there's lots of options so you can choose what's right for you. As far as possible, you should be supported to make your own decision, but if you need more help, then you can get that too. Just to recap on what we've spoken about today, you can get help with making decisions about money by talking to people. This is really helpful, and you can do this really easily. If you need more support than this, you can approach the bank to set up a joint account or third-party mandate with someone you really trust. If you need more help than this, it may be useful to have a power of attorney or an appointee to help you manage your money. It's important to think carefully about what kind of help will be best for you.
That's great. I'm going to talk to my parents about these options.
Fantastic. Let's keep moving and take the next step. Let's look at where your money might come from and explore benefits. So we've arrived at our second stop. We're going to be talking about the money that you might be able to get to help you on your journey to financial independence. We're going to talk about benefits.
I think I've heard of benefits, but I'm not really sure what they are or how they can help me.
That's okay. It can be difficult for anyone to understand how benefits work, so let's go over some things that might be helpful to you. First, what are benefits? Benefits are payments you can receive from the government to help you pay for things you need, like rent, food, and household bills, but also to spend on things you enjoy doing. Some kinds of benefits may also help cover extra costs that come up in your day-to-day life, for example, because of having a disability. Put simply, they are a benefit to you.
How would I get benefits?
You have to apply for benefits in order to get them. This usually means that there will be forms to fill in or meetings to go to, which can feel a bit overwhelming, but there is a lot of help you can get with this process.
Okay, this is starting to make more sense. It would be good to know a bit more about the benefits I could get first, though.
Of course, Anna. We're going to be talking about two different kinds of benefits today: PIP and Universal Credit. You might have heard of something called Disability Living Allowance, which is a benefit your family might have been getting to help manage any extra costs that come with having a learning disability. You could ask a parent or a carer about this. If this is the case, you should have got a letter when you turned 16, which would have let you know that you might be able to receive what's known as Personal Independence Payment, or PIP.
Okay, I'm not sure if I got a letter or not. Is that a problem?
No, that's fine if you aren't sure. You can ask your parents about this. You can still apply for PIP even if you didn't get a letter or didn't have Disability Living Allowance before.
Great, I'll do that. So, what is PIP exactly?
PIP is a benefit that helps you cover the cost of expenses that you might have because of your learning disability, which means that you can focus on achieving your goals in life. For example, there is a part of PIP for mobility costs, so you could get a taxi instead of the bus if you find getting on the bus hard. There is also the daily living part of payment, which you can use to help pay for things you might need for everyday tasks, like preparing food or communicating with other people. Having some control over your PIP payments can be a great way to start learning about how to be responsible with your money and begin to do things differently in your life and more independently.
That sounds good. How do I get PIP?
You will need to start your application over the phone, where you will be asked some questions about yourself. You will then have to fill in a form that will ask you about how your disability affects you and what kind of help you might need with your day-to-day life.
That sounds like quite a lot to think about. What if I need help to do this?
There are lots of ways to get some help. You could ask a parent, or there are also places where people can show you exactly how to fill in the form. For example, if you live in the Coventry area, you might be able to get assistance from a local charity called the Coventry Independent Advice Service. You can let them know exactly what kind of help you need by phoning them or filling in a form on their website, and they'll let you know how they can support you.
Oh, that's great. I want to be sure that I was doing it right.
Don't worry, there's lots of support out there to help you along the way. And PIP isn't the only benefit that can help you live more independently. Life can be expensive, so it's good to make sure you're getting everything you're entitled to.
Great. So, what else might I be able to get?
Another benefit you might be able to get is called universal credit. It's a bit different from PIP because the amount of money you receive depends on how much money you have or how much money you make. Universal credit can be used to help with more general living costs, as well as things related to your disability. It's paid to you monthly, and it can help you pay for things like rent or household bills.
I'm unsure if I'll be able to work in the future because of my disability. Would I still be able to get universal credit?
If having a disability might make it difficult for you to have a job that pays you enough money to live on, universal credit can be a really important way to make up for this so that you can still pay for the things you need and have opportunities to do the things you want to.
Is applying for universal credit like applying for PIP?
It's a little bit different, but as with PIP, there are lots of places you can go to get help with applying for universal credit. You will need to start this online, and there's a helpline you can call if you need some help with the process. When you make your claim, it's really important to mention any health conditions or disabilities that might make it difficult for you to work or look for work. You might need what's called a fit note from your doctor to help you get universal credit when you apply. Or if your circumstances surrounding working change in the future, you will then be sent a form to fill in about how your health or disabilities may affect you working or looking for work.
Wow, okay. That sounds like it might take some time because I'd want to make sure they know what my life is like and which things are more difficult for me than others.
You're spot on, that's exactly right. That's why you may not just be filling in a form because it is difficult to understand someone's experiences just based on this. Your application might lead to something called a work capability assessment, which is how people responsible for your claim assess whether or not you can work. This might be on the phone or face-to-face. They are looking to get to know you and see how your disability affects you so that they can make sure you're getting the right support and the money you need.
I'm glad about that. It's much better when people listen to me than when they try to guess what my life is like. When can I get universal credit?
You may be able to start getting universal credit payments yourself when you turn 18, but this will depend on a few different things, like whether or not your parents are claiming for you, or if you are in full-time education.
Okay, so it really depends on your circumstances then.
Exactly. Because all of this is quite complicated, it's a good idea to start talking about it earlier on with your family and people who support you. You can also get some help and advice to find out what the best option for you might be. You could speak to the charity we mentioned earlier, the Coventry Independent Advice Service. There's also a lot of helpful information online that you could look at with your family or carer. For example, from the Money Advice Service and Turn to Us that can help you understand what you can get and how to go about it. Applying for benefits isn't always a simple process, and they don't always get it right. It's important not to give up. If you don't get the outcome you were hoping for, you have the right for your application to be looked over again to see if a different decision can be made. This is called mandatory reconsideration. If that isn't successful, you can also challenge the decision by appealing. It is a good idea to get some help with this. A really useful charity to contact in this situation is the Central England Law Centre, who offer legal advice and representation for welfare benefits issues, as well as other areas of law.
I'm glad there are people to help me, and I'm starting to feel a bit more confident about the idea of having control over my own money.
On this journey, we've looked at decision-making and benefits, two really important parts of reaching financial independence. For more information on these topics and some tools to help you with managing your money, check out the description box below. Come back to this video anytime you're not sure or you need to refresh your memory. Good luck with your journey to financial independence, and you can do it!